Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Joel.
I'm Megan.
I'm Petey.
I'm Cuddy.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Grandpa. And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
Hey, Ghost.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. This morning, we are getting started off down here in the farm market. We got everything all cleaned up and now we're pulling stuff out of the cooler. The last few weeks here on the farm have been pretty busy. We've got a lot of updates for you guys. We're gonna get started with that a little later on though, because we've got to get more than chores taken care of. Hey Callie, what do you want for breakfast?
Apples.
Oh, okay. Farm market is now all set up, which brings us down around back. We need to get the animals all fed and the eggs collected. Now, just recently we had a time change. That's never fun. It really messes you up. But not only does it mess us up, it messes the animals up. For the most part, the cattle were just kind of confused why they were getting fed a little later on. But now that we've had some time to adjust, the cattle don't really seem to mind it. It's just breakfast a little bit later on in the day, and they're always excited about it. Good morning, everybody. And you can also see them winter coats coming in, starting to get a little on the chilly side. So we've had plenty of fill that was brought in locally, and this area right here is looking pretty good. For the most part, the stuff that they brought in has packed really, really nice, and it's helped with our drainage. So, I mean, bonuses all around. Silage and grain have now all been dumped in for the cattle. We just need to run over to greenhouse number 5 and check on the calves. Once Daniel got finished with silage, he ran over to the chickens. He is working on getting eggs collected. I'm gonna join him shortly. I just wanna make sure all these calves are okay. How we doing over here, guys? Oh my, they are growing so fast. What's up, little buddy? How we doing? Yeah, good morning. Daniel had already got the eggs collected in the older batch of chickens, and I just got the eggs collected in the new chickens, and they are really starting to produce. Finishing off the eggs should take care of the animals for the morning. Only thing left to feed is the calf, and Dad wants to do that, so we'll let him be. Now, I do have a lot of updates here on the farm, mostly because I've not been here for about 2 weeks. I was on vacation, had a really, really nice time. Lauren, Callie, and I got to do some grade A relaxing. Oh, it was fun. But you know, time does not stop on the farm, and the boys have been busy. So today I'm gonna be taking you around and showing you what they've been working on. Last time I was home, we had just got finished harvesting the soybeans, and we were loading them all into our bin. Well, as you can see, our bin is now empty. Oh yeah. The sucker is completely empty. Not only is it completely empty, but the boys actually took the floor apart and cleaned everything out from underneath it and put the floor all back together. So once we get started with corn harvest, this bin is ready to go. Now, the interesting thing is the beans that we were harvesting later on, they were actually drier than the stuff we were harvesting earlier, even though it was planted much later. So thankfully, we didn't have to worry about drying things down too much. The bean harvest was really good, and now we're ready for corn. Something else I'd like to mention actually involves our potatoes. Now, we've been done with potato harvest for quite some time now, but we just got something really big taken care of. Our large green wagon that we had harvested our potatoes into is a wagon that we also use for corn harvest. So we can't have that full for too long. So what we did was take all of the potatoes that were inside that wagon and move them into our storage area. And there is a lot of bins that need to be washed, bagged, and sold. The potatoes look really, really good. I mean, they've only been in here for a short period of time, but from what we've seen, they've been storing really well. Now, something that people who are storing potatoes like to do is load all the potatoes into their storage unwashed. The unwashed potatoes last for much longer than washed potatoes. So what we will be doing throughout fall and into winter, as we need to bag potatoes to sell, we'll be running them through the washer. And that way we don't have to worry about any of our potatoes spoiling. Now I've got plenty of other things to show you, but before we move on to that, I hear Dad is home from the wholesaler, so we're gonna head up and check on things. Something I will say about Lauren and I's vacation, it was very, very warm. So when Callie got back to Pennsylvania, she was like, why is it so cold? And two, Callie is now referring to every bird as a seagull. They're all seagulls now. I came up here to help Dad get everything off his truck. Where'd he go?
He went down back. Apparently we didn't feed everything.
Well, I don't know how big our order from the wholesaler was, but they got it all taken care of before I even got up here. So either the order was on the smaller side or Dad's in a working mood today. As I'm walking down around back, I want to make a quick pit stop in the largest greenhouse we have. This thing is empty, empty, empty. But not only is it empty, all the tables have been cleaned and sanitized. And most importantly, for a system like this, all of our water lines have been drained. That would be a large headache if we did not drain our water lines. All these pipe splitting would be good for nothing. So we went through, got our tables all cleaned off, got everything sanitized, and this greenhouse has been essentially winterized. And since it's winterized, it's prepared for next year. The only thing we would end up changing around yet would probably be some of these tables. We would lift them and move them over to this section and stack them. That way, once our soil starts to come in and once some other greenhouse essentials start to show up, we can put them right in here and we don't have to worry about moving things around. What did I tell you? I've shown you only a few things now and there's been a lot of changes and there is more to come, I'm promising you. But for now, let's get down here and check on Grandpa, wherever he may be. So here in the back, the boys have put together 3 makeshift calf pens. Dad has just given them milk this morning. Did you miss me while I was gone?
Yeah, it was very quiet.
Now what do you mean by that?
There wasn't much noise.
Since we never got a chance to really ask you, what did you think of bean harvest altogether?
Bean harvest went very well. We had really good yields, so we're happy.
Now, does this make you want to raise more beans next year, or were you happy with the amount of acreage that we had?
Well, we have the same amount of acreage every year. We rotate all our crops, so it's not a matter of can you raise more. You have to do what the rotation lets you do.
Yeah, a lot of people ask us if we want to do more grain, if we want to do more of something else. We've got a pretty good system going. Crop rotation is very important when it comes to the vegetables, when it comes to the other crops that we raise. Trying to keep the ground nice and fresh is important to us. When it comes to a year like the one that we just had, certain crops will be more susceptible to disease. As we saw with our peppers, that was not good. But if it was not for crop rotation and we kept planting the peppers in the same spot, that is something we would deal with every year. So we're just gonna have to keep that in mind for next, and probably about 3 or 4 years until we plan on putting peppers in that spot again. Or basically anything that would be affected by that disease. We're gonna have to keep a good memory because we definitely don't wanna deal with that problem. So we've been working a little bit around the farm market here. We had something we needed to do down around back. It was kind of quick, I didn't have the camera, but it took up most of the morning. So I guess it wasn't too quick, was it? But we got some stuff we're gonna be doing this afternoon. For now, we're gonna be getting something to eat because it's lunchtime. For lunch, it looks like Grammy has got potato pancakes and chip venison. And biscuits. Sounds good to me. Once we got finished with lunch, I ran home, grabbed a different hat. I also had to take Callie back for a nap because, well, it's nap time. And while I was doing that, Joel ran to a local store to pick up some stuff for tires. We need to move some tires around on wagons, which is currently what he has been working on. We've got our green wagon that we just cleared out of all the potatoes. It's getting a little TLC. We just got the tube pulled out of this tire. It was not an easy task. These are 10-ply tires that you have. They're holding a lot of weight, but we finally got that pulled out of there. We just got to get the rim pulled out now so we can get the new tire on it. Now, some of you may have saw the wagon and said, the wagon looks like it was running fine, but no, these tires were very bald. It wasn't gonna last for much longer anyway. And with the weight that we're putting on it, it's just a little dangerous. So we're got a new tire, which is 12-ply, because, you know, that's gonna be fun. We gotta get that put onto the rim, get our tube into place, and we should be good to go. As long as we can keep Joel off the tire. He just wants to sit on the tire.
Guilty as charged.
Let me just say, great success. We got the tube put into this tire. Now we're filling it up with air. It will then be going back on the wagon, but then we need to put a tube in another tire. So we're gonna have to take one off on the other side. Holding there?
Seems like it.
That's what I like to see. Just finishing up, we got the other side all taken care of, and this was the only tire we really needed to get taken care of. It was flat. Now, this tire right here, it's not good, but it's also not the worst that was on the wagon. So that one will at least make fall harvest. Then for next year, we might have to replace that one. Little bit of an update for you. Tires are now all completely back on the wagon. So we're gonna be moving on to our next job, which is harvesting cole crops. I know, I'm excited too. Most importantly, we need broccoli because we have no broccoli. We also need cauliflower because we just took the last of the cauliflower that we had in our bin. We're also gonna be looking for 2 bins full of cabbage. This time of the year, everybody is looking for those certain vegetables, whether they're making certain dishes or for whatever reason that they need them. It's just, they're going fast this year. So we got our bins loaded onto the truck. We just need to grab a few more things and then we'll be ready to go. Now we have been hit with some cooler weather, stuff that usually the crops don't mind too much, but the freezes that we have experienced in the past couple nights have been pretty rough for the crops. Thankfully, cabbage is something that's a little on the tougher side and hasn't been affected too much, but we still do have to be careful while we're picking. The first thing we're grabbing is a few smaller heads for an order, and then we're gonna be moving on to the bins. We decided rather than just walk throughout the field and try and fill those smaller boxes, we're gonna be picking everything we find and just sorting it between the two. The smaller stuff will be going into the boxes, the larger stuff into the bins. That is a beautiful head of cabbage. And there goes our first bin of cabbage. We also have got all the box cabbage on the side-by-side taken care of. So we just need to get one more bin taken care of and cabbage is done. We've got a pretty good system here. You've got myself, Matthew, and Dad cutting the cabbage, and Joel is catching and placing into either the bin or the boxes. Joel, how many times in your life have you been hit with a cabbage?
I'm gonna say probably about 9.3 times.
Is that average on a year, or like, is that average on your lifetime?
That's about average per day.
No. No.
He's been hit one too many times is all we can say.
I don't think he can see out of his left eye.
Ryan? Eddie? Matt?
Oh, that was close. Here comes the big one. Whoa.
I didn't see the camera. I almost took out your camera.
Andrew, up to the plate, got a big old cabbage. Joel looking like he's ready to catch it. Watch out, Hulushki!
Whew, almost got you there.
And just like that, cabbage is now all harvested. Now we're taking a little walk through the cauliflower because we didn't have any. So trying to find nice heads. It is starting to get later into the season for this stuff. So it's a lot of the stuff that was smaller that we're harvesting now. Cauliflower guy, here you go.
What?
Hold the cauliflower.
Cauliflower guy. I'm cabbage guy.
That one's still growing. Still growing there. What I'm seeing is that we've picked a lot of cauliflower. So there's not too much left here to harvest. So whatever we find is basically like a bonus. There is one row of cauliflower that we haven't really touched yet, so we need to grab that. But while we're on this end of the field, we're just grabbing a little bit of broccoli. Ooh, that's a beauty. That is a beauty right there. As we get further and further into the later part of the season, it again becomes really exciting to find nice crops like this. And that's for multiple reasons. One is we don't expect this stuff to look like this forever. And the fact that we're getting a late harvest off of it, well, all of us are happy about that. And because you never expect to get a late harvest, you don't factor in these plants sometimes as profit. But whenever we can find cauliflower like this, that's profit. Look at this one. It's like perfectly hidden by the leaves. That's cool. It's a little young. Little detour. Found some broccoli. Gotta take that. So this is what we've got picked. We got a little under a half bin of cauliflower. We've got a basket and a half of broccoli on the side-by-side, along with the 3 boxes of cabbage that we needed. And then our largest part of the harvest today is these 2 beautiful bins of cabbage. Now, something interesting about cabbage we haven't experienced this year is you can harvest when the cabbage is frozen. Sometimes it can be difficult to cut. You have to be very, very careful when you're harvesting and it's that cold. One thing is your fingers go numb and you can't really feel them as you're working, so we try and wear gloves. Doesn't really help because the cabbage is always wet. So as we're cutting the frozen cabbage, we have to be careful with our knives so as not to harm ourselves or even hurt someone else. Now, sometimes when the cabbage is frozen, it will end up splitting. That's just something we can't avoid because of the amount of moisture in the cabbage. But it is neat to go through sometimes and harvest frozen heads. That makes wonderful sauerkraut. And with these 2 bins loaded onto the truck and Daniel taking that one home, we're all finished with harvesting veggies for the day. So all that's left for us to do with this stuff is get it all pulled into the farm market. So I think we have room in the cooler to fit all these bins with the other stuff that we have. Sometimes you gotta make sure. We get those coolers pretty full and then you bring more stuff back and then you're in a pickle. We've had a pretty busy day and we're actually getting ready to start closing up the farm market. But before we do that, I got something to show you guys. Some of you already know about this. I did not break the news, which is perfectly fine because I was on a boat in the middle of the ocean. I was having a good time. But this right here is our new T5 120 New Holland. Interesting thing about this tractor is it was made in Italy. Pretty cool. It is a brand new piece of equipment, so you can imagine we were all very excited about it. Something we really wanted was for the tractor to get here for Daniel's wedding. That way they could have done pictures with the new tractor. That did not happen, but it's okay. Similar cab style to the 130 that we have. Just beautiful piece of equipment. We needed another tractor on the farm. We have Joel's tractor and then the 3 others, but there are times where we just need another powerful piece of equipment on the farm to get stuff done. And this is definitely gonna be a benefit for us. As I mentioned, cab is similar to the 130, so you can fit 2 people in here easily. So now we have the 100, the 110, 120, and the 130. So the 120 being our newest addition. She's pretty. Oh, she's pretty. I know some of you had seen Joel's video. He talked about the tractor already and he was very excited to do so. But I wanted to make sure that I showed all you guys the new piece of equipment. And let me just tell you, we are all excited about that. Look at this excitement. I'm pretty excited. Now here's the thing, am I ever gonna drive it? No, not until it's not the new tractor anymore. You know the boys like the tractor driving jobs. Let me tell you, I did enjoy my vacation thoroughly, but that's one of the hardest things about going on vacation as a farmer. You miss everything. Like, new tractor, missed it. Had so much other stuff going on, missed it. But that's okay. As long as everything continues to run smoothly, I'm happy. And since it's closing time, we're gonna close the farm market up and then I'm heading home. We have now made it home. Yes, baby.
My colors.
Oh, you like colors?
Want to draw?
Wanna draw?
Okay.
Well, I have some important stuff to do. I have to draw with Callie. I am now home. This is the end of the day. It is date night. So Lauren and I are gonna be getting ready to eat dinner, and that means that this is where we're gonna end video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.